Hello, my name is Roy Riley, and today I want to talk about this power station and solar panel that you can see behind me, kindly provided by Bluetti. And I want to talk about how it fits into my life as a professional photographer, whether it can run my studio in a kind of off-grid nature, and whether it can solve a problem for me by kind of keeping all of my gear charged up and running while I'm off on location, sometimes for days at a time. Now, this is where I make my videos and edit my pictures and all of that kind of stuff, and everything that you can see behind me is either running from or has been charged up by the Bluetti EB70 this morning. And it's been running all morning, and I'm just blown away by the fact that it's still going. I wouldn't normally have all of this stuff running off of the battery. I'm just kind of doing it for demonstrative purposes and to test out kind of what it's actually capable of. Normally I would be using much less stuff, and so I would have a much longer period of time of use from the battery, just using maybe a laptop and charging a few essential bits and pieces. And if you kind of want to do anything off-grid, you have to be very mindful of the energy that you're using and very frugal with it. So if you've only got so much, then you need to preserve it as much as possible and kind of only use it for things that are really important. So I want to track back a little bit and think about how I started on this journey of discovery into the world of power stations, solar panels, off-grid, all of that stuff. So to begin with, I find myself working on location much more, further away, sometimes for longer periods of time, and sometimes in quite remote locations. Keeping everything charged up has become a problem. I seem to be depending on more and more on a sort of ever-increasing sea of equipment that is battery dependent. I'm talking drones, gimbals, mirrorless cameras, editing on location with a laptop, and all the other bits and pieces that kind of are part of the toolkit of being a professional photographer. It's all battery dependent, especially drones. They eat batteries for breakfast. So I was looking for a portable solution to that problem, a portable power station of some kind that would offer me an abundance of power of keeping everything charged up and running. At the same time, we have energy crisis, we have hugely rising energy costs and potential power outages, and all of that has made me become a little bit more kind of thoughtful about my energy use and to start thinking about whether or not, I could use a power station and maybe a solar panel to maybe partly power my studio, help me navigate through this time, keep everything charged up. And so I kind of dived into the wormhole of discovery of this stuff, of late night searching on the internet about how you could do it, different ways of approaching it. And my life is a little bit complicated and I move around a lot, and there are a lot of different moving parts. So I was looking for something quite specific, I guess. And I found this company, Bluetti, seemed to be at the top of the game and making all of this stuff. And so I did something that I haven't done before. And I reached out to them and I explained what I was trying to do. And I asked them if they would be interested in supporting me in this sort of journey of discovery into the world of off-grid solar power stations and all of that stuff. And they said yes, and they sent me the Bluetti EB70 power station and the PV200 solar panel kit, and I've been using it ever since. And so I'm just going to turn everything off in the background, try and preserve as much energy as possible, and then we'll kind of get into the detail of this stuff. I'll bring the power station up here and we can have a look. Okay, so we still have a bit of power left, and in that purely unscientific test, this thing powered kind of everything that I have here. It powered my MacBook Pro running 2 4K screens, hard drive, keyboard, loop deck, lights, charge up my drone batteries, charge up all my camera batteries, mobile phone and various other bits and pieces, and it did that all morning. Now this is a bit unscientific because it depends on what your usage is, what your monitors draw, all of those kind of things, but that to me is pretty amazing. This thing has 716 watt hours of power, so you can kind of do your own maths if you're trying to work out how long things will last. Now, bear in mind, I'm no expert on this stuff. This is a voyage of discovery for me, and I'm just sharing my experiences so far. There's lots of different ways of doing things. Everyone will have different opinions. This is just my experience so far. I'll leave a bit more information in the description box of this video, along with an affiliate link in case you're in the mood to make a purchase. Also a link to the Bluetti website in case you need any more technical information. And also there is a discount code which might come in handy specifically for my viewers. So that will be in the description box of this video down below. Anyway, onwards. So this is a power station. It's a box with batteries inside effectively, and then a whole bunch of different outlets that you can charge stuff up with. Now this has got lithium iron phosphate batteries inside, which are quite important because there's lots of other versions of these from other companies and all sorts that are available out there. But lithium iron phosphate has a much longer life cycle than some of the other batteries. So for example, some other products will only be able to be charged up maybe 500 times before they start to begin to lose their efficiency. This thing, I believe, is like 2,500 times. So that's something really worth taking into consideration, whatever it is that however you're looking into the world of power stations. So on the front here, let's go from the top. We have this nice handle, and this thing it's like a good compromise in terms of size v power, I would say. And on the top we have a wireless charging output for a mobile phone, which is very, very cool. I don't know about you, but I end up using my mobile phone all the time, not for making phone calls, but for kind of, for my drone screen, or for controlling different bits of camera equipment, or whatever. Just in my line of work, I seem to be using it all the time. The battery always seems to be going flat. So the ability to just be able to throw it on the top here and get a charge is amazing. And actually, this thing has sort of almost become my constant companion these days on location. It's never very far away. So to be able to just throw it on the top is actually really useful. Coming down to the side here, we have, so it's got a built-in inverter as well. So you have two 3-pin plugs, just your standard plugs. The inverter is 1,000 watts with a surge of 1,200 watts, I believe, ish. And that means that you can run all kinds of different things with it, but you can't run everything. There are limitations, and you need to do your own homework into that. But if you're using a really high draw light, for example, then it probably won't work off of this, because you have to be realistic about what this actually is capable of, right? It can't just do everything for everybody. There are some USB-C sockets on the side, which are very, very useful. And there are some traditional USB ports, which again are used, I charge so much of my stuff via USB. It's kind of very, very handy. And you can obviously expand those if you want to, particularly using the 12-volt socket, a little waterproof cover on the top. And then there are these little round jobbies. I'm not really sure what they are, but apparently they're quite good for charging a lot of camping stuff that people have. And then we have our 3-pin plugs on that side. We have this nice little light, which is very handy actually when you're working kind of in a remote location or at night. Helps you kind of be able to know what it is that you're charging. Let's see if we can get that off simply. It also has a sort of flashing mode in there somewhere. Then we have the interface, which is really, really simple. And, I know that some of these things get quite complicated and they have their own apps and Bluetooth and all sorts. I don't need all of that stuff. I just want to know what's going in, what's coming out, and how much battery's left. And that's what this does really simply. Simple, like that about it. Okay, so what do we have here? Well, we have the Bluetti PV200 solar panels. And this is what you can charge this thing up with. This is fold out. There's 4 of these. It's quite big, and I'll show you in a minute how I set it up. But it's kind of big because it has to be big, because it has to produce a lot of power. But it's actually rather portable as well. It's kind of big briefcase size. I carry a lot of kit, so it's not, throwing something else like this into my kit pile isn't a problem at all, but for some people it might be, so it is a big thing. But it's kind of really well made, and it has these nice clips on the side, and then it has this bag on the back, which is very cool, which holds all of the different leads and stuff like that to charge it up with. We'll come on to that in a minute. And there is just this charging port on the front here, which is how you get all the different types of energy in, whether it's via solar or via the mains or via a car. Come on to that in a minute. Anyway, onwards. Okay, so there are 3 ways of charging this. My favourite by far is via solar, via the solar panel, and I've had quite a lot of success so far with that. Even though we're in autumn in the UK and we have shorter days and less sunshine, I've still managed to get most of the power that I've used from the sunshine. And not all of it, but most. But you do have to be intelligent about how you use it, and you have to be realistic about how you use it. So I've set up a bench outside where I can position my solar panel to make absolute best use of the sun, so I get exactly the right angle. And when you get clear sunshine and you have it correctly angled, you can get a lot of power into this. You can almost feel it. It's almost tangible. 3 or 4 hours and you're nearly fully charged. Although you have to be realistic, because if you've got cloudy skies, or you're not in direct line of the sun, or you're not very smart about how you angle your solar panels, you're not going to get too much power into this. It's going to take a long time, so you have to be honest and realistic about it. In good sunshine, very good. In in cloudy conditions, you're going to struggle a little bit. So we'll see how we go over this over the winter this year. My next favourite way of charging it is via the car charger, because I travel quite a lot for my work and I'm on the road, and I can do a top up with the car charger into this thing. Now, it's not as efficient as good solar or even from the mains. And I think, I think the technical specs say that it'll take about 7 or 8 hours to charge from flat to full from the car. What I've found is that it's really good for topping up, maybe in between assignments. If I'm driving from one location to the next or driving home, by the time I'm home, it will be charged up again. Not always, but ish, right? The next way of doing it is via the mains. You get a block charger, takes about 3 hours, a little bit noisy, but it's very efficient. And I'm seeing that as the last stop for the desperate at the moment. I'm trying to avoid that if I can, but sometimes I have to, because I'm being realistic about this. It's that all of these things are a compromise, right? Nothing can ever be perfect, and I'm just sort of on this voyage of discovery to find out. So I try and avoid the mains if I can. Try and steer towards solar as much as I can. And I take this thing on location with me, and I've found quite often that on multiple assignments, I've been able to set this up while I'm kind of on downtimes between shoots, or depending on what I'm doing or where I am, and actually be able to charge while I'm on location as well. So, that's an added benefit of something that's quite portable, I guess. Okay, so let's talk about shooting on location. Now, I often go away to do a shoot, and I might have back-to-back shoots, or a single shoot might take multiple days. Who knows? It changes all the time. But, I pack up all of my gear and off I go. And, one of the problems is let's say I do a drone job in the morning, and then I'm shooting somewhere else in the afternoon, and then there's a lovely sunset, but I wanted to shoot the drone at sunset. All of my batteries are flat. With this thing, I can leave the drone batteries charging and they'll be fine, ready to go. Now, obviously there's a limit to what it can do. So, how do I actually use it typically? Well, I might have my laptop plugged into it while I'm downloading some data from my memory cards and then backing them up to multiple hard drives. I might have my camera batteries charging so that I know that I've got plenty of batteries rather than just 1 or 2 spare. And I tend to carry quite a lot of batteries, but I'm also quite paranoid about making sure that everything is kind of charged up and ready to go at any given moment. And then I'll have my drone battery charging maybe, and any other bits and pieces. I tend to go through quite a lot of gimbal batteries and lighting, charging up my flash batteries, things like that. This thing seems to handle it all pretty well and will last for multiple day assignments if I'm frugal about the energy that I use. If I start leaving everything on, then it probably won't last that long. But that's good. That's a good thing. It focuses my mind in terms of making sure that I'm being efficient with my energy, charging what I need, and not being wasteful. And I don't mind that at all. And that's led to me finding lots more areas of my life that I can be a little bit more frugal in. So I can't believe I'm telling you. I've started showering outside underneath a solar shower, for example, because the sunshine heats the water up. It might be a bit cold. I'm a surfer, right? So it's no big issue for me. But actually, it kind of does the job, and I don't have to use any gas, and that feels fantastic. Have I managed to get everyone else in my family interested in this? Not really. So, it's maybe not working perfectly well. But also, the other day, I was going surfing. We're onto a surfing theme here. Going surfing for a few hours, quite a cold day, but nice bright sunshine. I thought I'd get my slow cooker out and do a nice slow cooked stew so that when we come back from surfing, we could have something nice and warm to eat. And then it started me thinking, could I power the slow cooker with this? And it turned out that I could. And so I left it bubbling away all day and came back, and after surfing had a lovely slow cooked stew. Perfect. I can't think of anything more perfect than solar powered slow cooked stew while you're surfing. It's kind of in a world where everything is upside down and chaos is everywhere, there is something that is really quite simple and lovely about that kind of appeals to me somewhere inside. Anyway, onwards to a conclusion. Okay, so in summary, this is a journey, right? I've said it a couple of times. I'm still learning. I don't know all the answers, but I'm evolving and the equipment is evolving, and I'm actually really enjoying the journey of learning about all of this stuff. But these things can't be everything to everybody. They can't replace the endless supply of power that we're used to getting from the national grid. But if used with a bit of care and frugality, they can offer an alternative. They can not only offer us the option to be able to work off-grid, but they can also teach us a few lessons about how to be a bit more mindful about the energy that we're using. Thank you to Bluetti for supporting me in this, and thank you to you for watching. I hope there's been something here that's of interest to you. And as ever, please do subscribe and like, leave me a comment if you've got anything to say about the content of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.